The next one before we take our break, and this time round looking at local football. Now there's a whole lot of discussion. Yes, Division 1 football, the race is now tight there, Moes, Scotland, this and that, but we come back to our traditional community team giants, that is Dynamos, Zimbabwe, the Glamour Boys, and right now things not looking too great. And I think I've said this as plainly before, that I've never thought that Lloyd MaBlanyo is the man to take them forward from this point. But they've already suffered 2 consecutive defeats. He blamed his defense for this second defeat. Sean, is it clutching at straws or was he right?
You know what? Lloyd Chigove has been a Dynamo forever. And there's a reason why he's been coaching the juniors. He's a very good juniors coach. So we've seen him before as head coach at Dynamos, and they did away with him for a reason. So yes, it was a crisis. He came in and sort of like stabilized the ship where it appeared to have done so. But now we're actually seeing now those chinks in his armor that, okay, he's not quite the manager that you want him to be. But the issue with Dynamo is not a logical issue. It's an institutional problem. The glamour is well and truly gone from Dynamos, from the Glamour Boys. And we have to be honest with ourselves. So something has to be done, something has to give. Unfortunately, they cannot compete against the bigger sides now. They are bigger in terms of who's funding them. They're bigger because they've got a big purse, they can get the players in. The players are well paid. And we can't say the same thing about Dynamos. So until we change those issues, we'll always be running in circles and circling back to former managers. You go from Lloyd to go, you look for someone else, and then you look, if you just bring back Murape to help out, and it will always be, unfortunately for Dynamos, something has got to give.
And ultimately, there's the discussion, and I think it has been had over time. Is it now time for us to somewhat privatize Dynamos? And I think that the discussion has come that even if you are to privatize Dynamos, how then do you privatize it? Of course, you've got a constitution, the community that somewhat owns this, shareholders within it. Like, how do you even start? It seems like it's a mess. But at the present moment, maybe the man sitting on top might offer a solution. That's Bernard Marius Lusengo, who many also believe that he might actually be the serious problem at Dynamos at the moment.
Listen, first and foremost, the problem is cultural. There is an ownership culture of Cosa Nostra mentality. It's a community thing, shared with the community. Give you a simple example. ZPC Kaiba versus Highlanders. Highlanders management opted to boycott the game. And the fans went to the clubhouse and contributed towards paying their fine. That's community ownership. You do not have the same with Dynamos. With Dynamos, it's always when they're on the up, ownership comes up. People want to benefit without putting anything in. I don't think they still have a constitution, or it's something that they do not have. They are logically not a community team. They have a lot of wannabe stakeholders that will come up and say, we own the team, we own the team. And that squabble needs to go away, has to be settled. Caps United was sold, Faraje is doing some kind of job. I don't know if the paces are still strong. And yeah, credit to him. Actually, credit to Caps United for beating Dynamos. They came from behind. And yeah, I don't think Lloyd is going to go. He's a stopgap measure. Let's take it all the way. Let's stop the bleeding. Let's go to the doctor now. We need a proper doctor now. He's just a guy who just comes.
The boy Marine.
But now you need the stitches. You need the proper doctor.
Fair.
Yeah. Right now, they're bleeding. They're bleeding through a wound. They're not gonna make it.
All right.
You need to give credit. Hey, the new boys, Zimbabwe, are dominating.
Yeah.
You need to give them credit. They come up. My friends at Golden Eagles, Bay and Mike, hey, this was their dream coming to the league and try and win it and go to CAF. Now they have bigger problems. But yeah, Zimbabwe appearing for the first time in the Premier League and they're sitting on top right now.
But you know what I fear in our football now is that you need someone, a club, to come through with a benefactor with deep pockets to come in. it has become so difficult with the way our economy is. You need a football club that comes through. They might not have most of the money in the world, but they can groom youngsters, bring up a football team, and compete.
Yeah, and
So if you don't have money now, you're in trouble. So even traditional giants like Dynamos, they're struggling.
Yeah.
Well, Sean, and I think you mentioned something very important there. A lot of teams have seemingly gone the big bag route. Buy yourself out of trouble or buy yourself into success route, and I think we've seen that with the likes of Scotland down in Division 1. I mean, they've bought any experienced player that's on the market right now, and they've put up a mega super side. We saw Zimbabwe as well, went shopping at the beginning of this season. I think they bought about 11 or 12 players as well and brought them into the side. But how does this augur for our football then going forward? And I think the major discussion as well that we've had even in media is that there is a serious hunger. In fact, there's a serious dearth at the moment, whereby we don't have a new story to talk about. You remember as you were growing up, and Alois Bunjira breaking onto the scene, and Stuart Murisa breaking onto the scene, even the likes of the Vitalis Takawiras, when they broke onto the scene, they were coming behind the likes of the Mercedes Rambos Bandas and those that had gone before and things like that. The new story in football at the moment is just not being created.
I think because we're used to fairy tales. Once you think of Darren T, you think of the whole scale when you deal with those boys.
Yeah.
There was not a lot of money.
Yeah.
Blackpool came with heavy bags, as you call them. They still, and now they're defunct. Because that's what always happens. So if you have to rely on an individual, I know broke. When they go broke, what do? What happens to the football team? So you need some institutional strength to mean that even if one person dies, the club will still function. So you see that we need to, like, it goes to junior policy, junior football. We have enough youngsters coming through the system to know that our football is well taken care of.
Yeah, big things obviously to talk about, but Ash, I'll give you this one.
Right. So the key thing now is there's a young guy from Dynamos, the PE boy,
Bill Antonio. After that, there's a big gap. You don't have the next big thing. Back then, you knew of Peter Ndo. When he was at Mziligas, everybody knew there was Peter Ndo. He even got a call up to play first team Highlanders when he was still in school. Bill Antonio, I thought Bill Antonio would go that way. Actually, Bill Antonio is not even part of the Warriors setup.
Because of the injury that he just had. Just coming up back up now, but he looked as if he's the real deal.
So we need more of those. We look into the school system, into the junior circuit, and say, okay, who are the next stars? How are we putting all this together? Right now, like you said, like Sean said, waiting for a miracle.
But I think, like with the conveyor belt, just passing on zone the next. Unfortunately, there's no Mageti. The conveyor belt is off, so there's no players that are coming through. So unfortunately, you cannot even in all our sporting cricket. Before it was, even when Taib was a youngster, you knew that those people coming in. Stewart was coming in, Hamilton was coming in, but still playing schoolboy cricket, but knew that they are on the way.
And also, speaking of that, we recently saw the Zimbabwe 20s playing against Zambia and South Africa. They did poorly. I don't know if that's the same structure that Nice is imparting to the juniors. Is a connect. This is the kind of brand of football that Zimbabwe wants to play, or it's whoever is coaching the under 15s does whatever he wants, the under 20s does whatever he wants.
So you'll be surprised Simon Marange has not spoken to Michael Nice.
Never met.
No
idea. So they do not have that thing in common, and you really want to see the under 20s doing well, putting their hand up. Back in the day, we also have this comfort zone that we went into. Like back in the day, we were a powerhouse. We still living on those memories. Right now,
we have a powerhouse today.
Zambia come up, they won the AFCON. We've not gotten there, but we still believe. There's false belief that it's going to happen, that miracle. But we're not putting in the effort and the structures to say juniors up to the national team, to the Warriors, will see the progression.